Concerning this song, I was looking for upfront vocals that cut through the mix.
When life knocks you to the ground, get up and dust yourself. You are meant for more. Bitter days will come, but that doesn't mean you're weak. You are meant for more. Sometimes they'll mock your life, and sometimes they'll laugh at you. Don't worry, you are meant for more. Out of the eater comes something sweeter. Your life will turn around.
To achieve that, I had to take out some of the instruments which were giving me a lot of low end, so I had to mute some of the instruments which were fighting with the vocals, just to make room for vocals and just to give the vocals that space. Now, to give this vocal that upfront effect and just to spread it up and make it big a little bit, I used a plugin called Maximizer from Cubase and put my output on 0.0. Once I was done with that, I connected this lead vocal to group number 1, and in group number 1 I first had to deal with problematic frequencies, and some of those problematic frequencies are found around 20, 50 and 100, and I also had to cut around 534 somewhere there. I had to deal with this frequency right here.
When life knocks you to the ground.
So it's a frequency that sounds like you are singing in a can, so I had to deal with that. And of course you can see that the Q is a little bit widened up, so a wider Q helps to really control all these unwanted frequencies around 200 to 500 somewhere there. And then I also had to deal with this other frequency which is around 1976.
When life knocks you to the ground, get up and dust yourself.
So now to deal with that sharp nozzle frequency, I had to cut around -3.6, and then I had to since we are aiming for vocals that are up front that cut through, I had to open it up and just bring it up front a little bit more, and I did a boost around 8795.3 hertz. This is a boost right here, and this sounds like this.
When life knocks you
Very good place, especially when you want to add air to the vocal. So once I was done with that, I did a process with a compressor. I had to compress the certain places, as you can see the vocal, some places are a little bit lower than the other places, some places a little bit high. So to control that, I had to throw in a compressor from Cubase. My ratio is 2, threshold 3, and I usually use 2 compressors, so this is why you can see that the ratio is not too much, it's not a hard ratio. And then from there, my makeup gain just a little bit, raised it up a little bit. Why did I do this? I prepared room for a second compressor, so I do not over compress using the first compressor because I know that the second compressor is gonna do the work. So once I was done with that, I threw in a virtual mix rack from Slate Digital, and I used this second compressor, and as you can see my threshold is -34. Now it's a little bit deeper, and my ratio is on 2.5, now a little bit higher. My attack is around 3 and release is around 2. Makeup gain boosted a little bit higher. This side was boosted a little bit lower, but this time we raised up the volume due to compression and loss of volume, so I had to increase that. Then did a little bit of some EQing. This is my second EQ, just boosted up the highs a little bit so that we can cut through. And basically this is what I did with this one, and cut a little bit of some low frequency, which is around 0.79. yeah. Once I was done with that, I did the same with the second EQ. I had to just like cut it out and boost it up around 3.6. Once I was done with that, then I brought in FabFilter Pro G, which is a get. Why a get? There were certain places where you just want your vocal to cut through. There is just something a get does to your vocal, and also of course removes the unwanted noise in places where the singer is not singing. So this is the work of a get. Check out the video that I did on how to use a get. So I used FabFilter Pro G. It just helps the vocal to cut through and also remove some unwanted noise. This is what I did. My threshold is on -27, my range is 88.54, and my ratio is on 5.63. Just set it on a place where your vocal is not overcut. It just has to be on that place where the vocal sounds great. Let me save this. I show you what I mean. So let me just cut everything. So be careful with that effect. Be careful with making that mistake, because if you get it, your vocal is not gonna, it's just gonna be cut. So you don't want to cut some of those phrases or some of those starting points of your vocals or your singing. This is why you just have to make sure you set it at a place where it sounds better. Let's go ahead and take it back. And my attack is on fast, release is on fast, my hold is on 2 milliseconds, and my knee, soft knee, is this soft curve that you can see right there. So once I was done with that, now I had to deal with noise, floor noise. It had some noise due to the 2 compressors that I used, and due to raising of the volume using that compressor. So some of that floor noise was raised. Now to deal with that and control that, I had to now throw in Cubase denoiser, and I set it on medium. Just bring it on medium. That is just going to control the floor noise. Then from there, now to widen up the vocal and just make it big, sound spaced and widen up, I now used a plugin called Reverb 32. This one right here, I am using it to give the vocal space and to wet it up. So this is Reverb 32, and this is why you can hear this effect, reverb effect, which sounds like this.
When life knocks you to the ground, get up and dust yourself.
Very nice reverb. The vocal is soaked in and just sounds professional. So to bring that up, I used Reverb 32. My pre-delay is already there. This is why I'm not using any delay. My delay here is off. I am using a delay from the reverb. Pre-delays are 25.8 milliseconds, and then room size I put it on 50%, and then reverb time is 3.90 milliseconds, and then wet is on 0.92, as you can see. And I cut down all the lows and the highs, and just to make sure that the reverb cuts through as well. So basically this is what I did to just make to just mix that upfront vocal sounding mix. So if you wanna learn more, check me out in the second part, in part number 2, where I will be showing more tricks. I will see you in the next one.